It's part 3, meditative concentration and control concerning good and positive thoughts. Got it. Okay, go ahead. Meditative concentration and control concerning good and positive thoughts, feelings, and actions strengthen, on the one hand, the consciousness and the psyche. On the other hand, also the personality and the character in all its variations. The entire mental block becomes an immense might, which in any respect of great benefit to the consciousness-based development in daily life, in the personal framework, as well as in the environment, and in dealing with the fellow human beings and the fauna and flora. Also, physical cleanliness is of significance concerning sleep. If one follows the guidelines of the spiritual teaching, then before going to bed, a little body washing just with water should be a duty, whereby it doesn't matter whether the water is cold or warm. If the concentration and control is directed toward this little cleaning when it has an effect on the welfare of the body, because it gains an advantage in the form that the body settles down sooner and more restfully. However, the great advantage lies in the fact that the body doesn't excessively relax and therefore doesn't physically exhaust itself, which leads to a restful sleep and to a refreshed awakening. Furthermore, it leads to the fact that no abysmal faint-like sleep occurs, from which on awakening, a feeling of, quote, quite knocked up arises, as well as no bad dreams are making sleep a torment. A good method as to not be exposed to torment and the darkness of lack of knowledge during sleep is a short meditative concentration. So the first one is meditative light concentration. On going to bed, meditative concentration is directed at visualizing a light appearance, which can be created in all personally desired colors. The important thing here is that the thoughts and feelings are affecting the consciousness in a way that it creates, with closed eyes, the desired light appearance through the concentrated and controlled power of imagination. Once the light appearance manifests itself in the consciousness, then one can go over to the next step, which is the falling asleep meditation. The falling asleep meditation consists of 2 steps, in which case the first one is the so-called active step and does not correspond to any meditation yet. This phase consists of being actively concentrated in the manner that all thoughts and feelings are deliberately switched off. Once the state of total thoughtlessness and unfeelingness has arisen, then the real meditation state of the falling asleep meditation is reached, namely the so-called non-active state and the passive state of the consciousness. This state is maintained, after which in the shortest time, the consciousness drifts off into a dozy state and completely closes off all external and internal influences through which sleep sets in. During sleep, the meditation continues to be effective, in which case the consciousness connects itself with the data of the unconscious and the subconsciousness, out of which dream events then arise. If no meditative light concentration and no falling asleep meditation are practiced, then dreams form according to the thought and feeling concentration in good and positive, or in bad and negative form, always according to what happened before falling asleep. The human being should always enjoy only the necessary measure of sleep and not lazily stay in bed for hours needlessly. Attentiveness and self proof, as well as the wish and the action to get up after sleep and to dedicate oneself to a useful day work, must always be in the foreground. As a rule, 8 hours is the highest measure of all things concerning sleeping and laying in bed. More than that fosters laziness, aggression, moodiness, neglect of duty and disinterest, etc. And moreover, it testifies to a weakness of character and virtuelessness. Before falling asleep and before useful meditative concentration, a special attention should be directed toward the activities of the day gone by in order to let pass and in review everything that mattered. Another possibility is also to go through the intended meditation in thoughts and feelings. If one or the other is done successfully, then as a rule, control is not lost during sleep. Consequently, sleep and dreams will be virtuous. Furthermore, it is also possible to be virtuous during sleep and whilst dreaming, and thus to care for virtuous thoughts and feelings in a concentrated and controlled manner. Thereby, the ability is given to direct the dreams during sleep, or to give them a desired direction in a meditative concentration way, which they will also follow. Another success resulting from it is that on waking, a clear mental truth is given. Consequently, a very clear consciousness state prevails, even if the level of the sensory consciousness have not attained their might yet again. If the clear consciousness state is then required to carry out analytical observations and experiences, etc., then an effectiveness is given to a high degree. It is necessary that a decisive mental attitude is formed towards the exact time at which to awaken from sleep. Thereby, sleep should always be light and not heavy in order to also keep full control during sleep, just as it is inherent to the creatures. There too, only a motivation as well as a decision and the volition to really turn it into reality is required. If this is done, then the ability is also created to wake up at the right time as planned and desired. The whole thing is based on a power of the entire mental block, whereby everything can also be used to make proper use of the entire way of life and all aspects of life in general, and as a whole to direct all possible factors in a virtuous direction. Through this, and this is another plus of the whole thing, very many bad and negative thoughts, feelings, actions, desires and wishes, etc., can be minimized or even averted.